Hello my beautifuls, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and if it's your first time here, my name is Shy and I'm so excited to get into the video with y'all today. Healing from your masculine wounds is really important. If you want to learn how to receive in life and be able to have your feminine energy flow, you need to understand that if you have an unhealed masculine wound, which is your masculine energy that is always in control mode, in wanting to do things and I can do this myself, that is an unhealed masculine wound. So I'm gonna teach you how to fix that and how to start receiving and being wonderfully in your feminine, because masculine energy, it's good for ladies, but only to a certain extent. We don't want to be overpowerly in our masculine energy, because if we're overpowerly in our masculine energy, we aren't in our feminine and we won't be able to receive as our feminine energy does. So the first thing that we're going to get into is we're going to get into identifying your triggers. So if you didn't grow up with a stable father figure, or if you didn't grow up with that support from a male or learning how to receive, you always grew up in the need to control, I don't need anyone, I can do this myself. You're basically forced to grow up when you're a kid. So that's when that masculine energy starts to kick in and it starts to overpower your feminine instead of your feminine being able to receive. So you need to understand what your triggers are. And if you have certain triggers, you need to go and you need to do some affirmations and you need to do some soul work around those triggers. For example, if you were always in control, or you felt like you always needed to have things in control and you needed to be in control of everything, an affirmation that is good for you is, I am safe to receive without the needing to control. That's a really good one. Yeah, so make sure you're doing your affirmations and giving yourself time, because this work does take time and it's worth it. Because once you release those blocks, which is blocks in your energy field, you're going to be able to easily receive, and your feminine energy is going to be able to come out and it's going to glow and you're going to be flourishing like a butterfly. Okay, so once I healed my masculine wounds, that's how it felt for me. I was just receiving. Everybody would want to come help me. Everybody wants to help me. Everybody wants to be in my energy. Everybody wants to make my life easier. And that's what I started to receive. And you ladies can do that as well. It all starts within you. So the next thing we need to do is understand where it started. So you need to understand where that unhealed masculine wound came from. And if it came from your earlier childhood, that means it's a deeper wound. So we're gonna have to do more work and more affirmations and more reprogramming of the subconscious mind so that your brain can get out of that and pick up on the new pattern. So yeah, like a lot of the times it starts from childhood trauma, never being able to trust your parents, neglected needs as a child, as well as taking on the masculine role at a young age. And that could look like having to take care of your siblings, having to feed yourself, having to bathe yourself, having to do everything for yourself at a really young age because you didn't have parents that you could rely on to do that. So you took on that masculine role as well as that feminine role, but that masculine is really overpowering because that's a survival state. You're in your survival state because we're supposed to have nurturing and loving parents who take care of everything. And when we come into the world, that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have parents who love us, who pour into us, who make us feel needed and teach us how to balance out our energies. Because if there's a healthy masculine and a healthy feminine, that is going to make a healthy masculine feminine child. So just remember that it's okay if this feels uncomfortable, because it's gonna feel a little uncomfortable at first. I'm not gonna lie, it was really uncomfortable for me, especially when people would come and ask me, oh, do you need help with that? I'd be like, no, I can do it. Like, it's good, I can do it. Or I can buy this for you. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you want in return? But a lot of the time, people just want to make your life easier. And as a man, like, men love making women's lives easier. It doesn't even matter what you look like, okay? If you're in that energy of receiving, you will get what you want. You just have to go through those energy blocks, release that energy, and then start making new energy so that it can be received in your energy field. That is one of the best ways to do it, is push out the old, come in with the new. Okay, so point number 3 is we got to learn how to release control. Okay, that's a big one, because we are going to run into life's obstacles. We always do. That's normal. Life is always going to throw curveballs at you, and you're never going to know when they come. So releasing control is understanding that, you know what, if something happens, let me look at that. Let me see what's going on there. If someone says something to you and it wakes something up in you, you feel like oh, what the heck? Identify that. Be like, why am I feeling like that? What is my body trying to tell me? Am I coming from a place of love, or am I coming from a place of hurt? What is your inner child telling you? You know what I'm saying? So understand that your body gives you signals. Your body gives you signals, and it tells you what you need to release and where you need to release it, depending on where that tightness is in your body. That's usually, sometimes it could be in the throat, sometimes it could be in the stomach, sometimes it could be in the back, the lower back. Those are all tightnesses due to built up energy and stress. So releasing those energies and being able to understand that you have to learn to trust life again, so you can start welcoming those energies into your energy field. That's how it works, because if you have all this stagnant energy in you, and especially when it's unidentified and it's not dealt with, it is going to start to manifest into your physical life, because that is what your body has been accustomed to, attuned to. Your nervous system has been running off of that since you were a child. Why would it want to change? Okay? Your brain is here to make you safe. It's here to make sure you're safe. And sometimes those patterns that your brain was thinking was safe are not safe in another season of your life. It's holding you back, actually, from getting closer to your designed reality. So you have to nurture yourself. You have to give yourself time. Your brain is trying to keep you safe, okay? But sometimes the patterns and the old beliefs that your brain are running off of to try and keep you safe are very outdated. I'll put an example. You have a computer program, right? Your computer needs to update every couple, I don't know, let's say your computer needs to have an update every 5 months. You need to update your computer, because if you're still running off the old program, a lot of the new features that are trying to come in aren't going to work, right? So think of it the same as your brain. Your brain has a hardwiring, and it needs a system update, okay? We need to update the system, because that old system isn't gonna work, because there's new things and new problems and new environments that we're gonna need this new system for, because the old system will just keep us stuck and we won't be able to function properly, right? If somebody wants to hold the door open for you, let them. If somebody wants to pay for your food, let them. If somebody wants to do anything for you, if someone wants to pour into you, let them. If somebody compliments you, say, thank you so much, I appreciate that. Right? Like, just be so feminine, because feminine energy is like the touch to life. Like, what is life without sweet feminine girls? Just feminine. And you can get in that energy too, sis. Don't think you can, okay? We're gonna get through these blocks together, and we're gonna make sure that you can start receiving, because it's a skill, it's a muscle that needs to be strengthened. So don't worry. As long as you keep on doing what you're supposed to be doing, keep on doing your affirmations and healing and getting that good work in you, you gonna be good, okay? As long as you keep on putting you first, okay, you gonna be fine. And it's gonna start to build, and you're gonna be able to do it effortlessly, okay? Point number 4, we need to rebuild that safety in your body. That is one of the most important things, is learning to make yourself feel safe, because your nervous system has been dysregulated for so long that your body is so stressed out. Like, it needs that pampering, and you need to give it to yourself. And a very helpful way to regulate your nervous system and give back to yourself, ladies, is through oxytocin. So oxytocin can actually really help heal the nervous system. So things like shopping, dancing, singing, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, going to the spa, like, you know, pouring into yourself. Go to a pottery class, go to dinner with the girls. You can even go to the beach, or you can go ice skating. Like, those little things that you do for yourself literally heal your nervous system. So start giving it back to yourself. You know, give yourself a day where you just pour into yourself, you know. You'll even have people like once you start to get into that receptive energy, you'll have people who come around you who want to pour back to you too, because you want to pour back to yourself. So it attracts people who want to pour into you. It doesn't attract low vibrational, low energy people, because that's what our old programming is. We need to update our system so that we can get in the new programming, because there is people out here that literally love a good feminine. Okay, there's people who want to pour into the divine feminine, and they have no issue doing it. Okay, trust me. Okay, point number 4 is learn to receive. This will reprogram your energy from I must do it all to I'm worthy of being supported. So you gotta speak that to yourself. And ladies, if you got to this point of the video, you're so lucky, because I'm actually putting you on into a tip that I don't really speak about, but I'm gonna tell you guys because you are my ladies and I want you guys to have this process speed up. So as I was saying, I'm very into quantum leaping, and one of the easiest ways, at least for me, to quantum leap, subliminals. Okay, let's say your need to release control, search up I don't need to control subliminals. Listen to those while you're sleeping, or while you're just walking, and while you're just doing what you need, and watch your life change even faster. This is going to be able to help your nervous system heal faster, because your subconscious is going to start listening to that, and it's going to reprogram you even faster while you're doing these things. So if you want to quantum leap with that, subliminals is where it's at. So if you made it to this part of the video, watch your life change for the better. Okay, yeah, so actually I also want to mention this one TikTok creator. I'll put her name up here. She has a lot of information on how oxytocin and how to give back to yourself as a feminine, because we as women, our bodies haven't really been like researched until now, which is really crazy to me to think about, how we just thought that it was just the male system, right? No, they use the male system, the male body for everybody. But we have our own divine physical embodiment, and we run off of oxytocin. Men, they run off of dopamine. But women, we run off of oxytocin. We're just discovering all these new things and everything. And it surprises me. I was like, wow. The thing that gives you the most oxytocin is sexual intercourse. Okay? So if you don't know how to give yourself healthy oxytocin, where do you think you're gonna go get it from? Because that is the biggest boost of oxytocin that a woman can get, is when you're pleasured. Okay? So learn to give yourself healthy oxytocin if you're struggling with something like that. I remember I used to be in that energy of, where am I gonna get my next oxytocin fuel from? I started pouring back into myself. I don't need to go rely on a healthy oxytocin source. I can rely on my own oxytocin source, and my body is fulfilled through it. So that's another scientific fact that a lot of us did not know. Like me, at least, I did not know that. I did not know that the female nervous system ran off of oxytocin, and that sexual intercourse was the highest form of oxytocin a woman could get. So that's crazy. So if you're not pouring into yourself, it's gonna be like you need it, you know, because our body does need it. And she talks a lot about how to give that back to yourself. So definitely go watch her, ladies, if you want to be able to heal your nervous system and give yourself healthy oxytocin, because that is what we need. Alrighty. And last but not least, okay, set clear boundaries. I know I talk about this a lot in my other videos, but make sure you have clear boundaries, okay? Y'all have to make sure y'all have clear boundaries. That is a must. Boundaries aren't walls, okay? They're actually gates to make sure only healthy love is being received. Because when you have boundaries, that is your masculine energy blocking anything that is unhealthy from your energy field. And your feminine energy, it's protected by your masculine energy. That's what you need to do. But when we have an imbalance, our masculine energy is hiding our feminine so we don't want to receive, because the masculine energy in us doesn't feel safe. So make sure you make yourself feel safe. And I'm really glad to talk about these things with y'all, because this is information that's new to me as well, and it's helped me. Like, it's really helped me. It's made me a better person, a better me. And I want to put y'all ladies on, because this is literally so important to know. And if I could help another lady out there that needs this, I would love to. Like, I promise y'all, I have your best interest in mind, because I've been through a lot of things, and I always wanted a way out. I didn't know, because, you know, I would go back to things, but I didn't understand what was really going on in my body. So once you find out what's going on in your body, once you start paying attention, once you start noticing, building better discernment, your intuition builds, okay, you will flow effortlessly, and it will be like you're you're just floating on a cloud. Yeah, so I hope you like this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.